Okay, I am the end of the words. You may be able to call this the sister episode to the To Siberia episode, because that book may have played a mighty role in my feelings on this book. This book being Bonecrack by Dick Francis. This book was published by Pocket Books in 1971. I have a few Dick Francis books, and there's horses on every cover. And reading the back and telling you what they're about, there's usually horses involved. I have a crippling fear of horses. I don't know if I've said before, I got bit by a Clydesdale at the fair when I was really young. It hurt really bad. It's instilled a fear in me that has never left. But I think they're funny looking. They make me laugh when I look at them. They are just scary. But I decided to read this book, just a random pick off the shelf, snagged it up, and I cannot say that I hated it. I really enjoyed this book. I've powered through this thing. I wanted to see what was happening. It's very suspenseful. There's action packed. As a layman, I know nothing about horse racing. I know nothing about keeping horses in stables. I know nothing about horse injuries. I barely know anything about Europe. And it takes place in England, I believe, well, it's in Europe. That's enough, right? Wow, I sound like a dumb American. Basically, the story is a mobster type man comes to the stables and kidnaps who he thinks to be the stable owner. It's not. Well, he sends men to do it. It's not the stable owner. It's the stable owner's son who's running the stable. He gets blackmailed into allowing the mobster's son to be a jockey there, but not just a jockey. He's kind of forcing his will and telling him he will ride your best horse. He will ride it in the Derby. Fast forward to when the son of the stable owner, we find out more about him, how he ran away from his dad. Him and his dad never got along. He kind of made his fortune selling antiques, but he's a good businessman. But he left the business very early, the business of horse racing and horse raising and racing. But instead of trying to find somebody to help run the stables in order to keep an eye on, make sure that this man gets what he wants, because the man says he'll ruin the stables if he doesn't do what he says. He stays on as his dad's in the hospital. But there's a battle of wills back and forth, because the son who's running the stables can't exactly bend to the will 100%, or it's not going to make sense. So he kind of takes the son of the mobster in, and by the way, the kid's an asshole. He's just the cliche. Dad's got me everything. I think I deserve everything. You can't disrespect me. Just an entitled piece of shit. And the names would help me out here. Neil Griffin. And the son's name is Alessandro, I think, because somebody calls him Alex and he does not like it. Come on, how I got 14 pages? I can name the names of the horses real easily. Okay, it's getting ridiculous now. Alessandro. Alessandro is the mobster's son, and Neil Griffin is the stable runner whose dad was in the accident, who was the actual stable owner. Alessandro, like I said, entitled, just rude, disrespectful, thinks he deserves everything. Basically tries to go head to head with Neil Griffin, but Neil Griffin is a man in his own right, and Alessandro kind of ends up in this back and forth between Neil Griffin and his father. His father he has broken the legs of some horses in order to make his points. He's threatened to destroy other things to make his point. Along the lines, though, Neil kind of starts getting through to Alessandro that hard work will pay off. That if you're a jockey and you're good, which he sees that Alessandro is actually a damn good jockey, you'll get to ride the better horses. And as Alessandro starts to see how this hard work and that he's paying his dues and he's actually getting to do this and he's enjoying what he's doing, um, his father becomes just belligerently angry at him and threatens and says, what you wanted was to ride Archangel in the main derby. Neil said he's not going to do it. So there's a battle of wills there. Huge climactic ending where shocking things happen left and right. Just a great suspense book. Now, do I think this book is the best book ever written? No. Do I think this is a very good suspense book and a quick read at that? This paperback is only 220 pages. Yes, I do. I think it's very good. May have it been influenced? May have it? May have it? May it have? May it have been? Yes. May it have been influenced by how awful and how angry I was at 2 Siberia? Very much so. I had such a bad taste in my mouth. Maybe this isn't the champagne of books, but it was the water to cleanse my palate after the trash can that I ate of 2 Siberia. So Dick Francis Bonecrack, even for a layman, I enjoyed this. I love I'm into horse racing now. Not into horse racing. I like the idea of horse racing. I don't know enough about it, but he used enough lingo and enough. He wrote it intelligently enough that I understood the things that even if I didn't understand what he was talking about initially. I liked this a lot, and I will read more Dick Francis now. If I see some out, I may pick them up. I was iffy about them before because I had a few, never read any, but now I will. And if you've read any Dick Francis, let me know, because I want to know if some of his other books have a similar kind of feel to them, or if I maybe have found the best one. But my rating for this, I gotta go strong 7 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. I like this a lot. I really did. And maybe I just have to read 2 Siberia in between every book I read, because in comparison, they will all be great. Fuck 2 Siberia.